Good evening, good evening, good evening. Thank y'all for tuning in. Join the Shameless Conversation. I'm your host, your G.P.S, God's personal servant. I don't own the rights to any music. This is my buddy, my G, Trinetta Boswell, Content. I can handle this change. I've learned how to live past my fears. I've learned how to smile through the tears. All right, let's get into it. I'm excited about tonight's show. Tonight's show is listen. I'm excited because I have none other one of my high school buddies. And so, when you go to school, she the type of person, she didn't have friends from third grade. I met this woman in high school and we've been cool ever since. Her spirit is lively. She about the life. She's always been in some shape, form, or fashion, a woman of success, even at a young age. So I am honored to have on this show tonight, Shameless Conversation, none other than Kristen. Hold on, let me get on in here. There she go. What's going on?
Hey y'all. Hey, how y'all doing?
Hey. So one thing I did share, people may ask questions as well, but I'm not for sure.
Okay. Well, I if they ask questions, then just let me know because I don't see anything. I'm not on any platform right now, so
okay,
I'm
cool.
with you. My time is dedicated.
That's what's up. I'll let you know. So, Kristen, tell us a little bit about yourself. I don't want to get too much, and I want you to, share your accolades.
Oh, that's hard. Oh, why is that so hard for people to do? Okay, so Kristen Webster, just a girl from 60153.
That's it.
Maywood.
Maywood in the house.
Yes. A woman of faith. And sometimes my faith is shaken, but I stand firm in it. I graduated from the Alabama State University, the most magnificent university on the face of the planet, twice. And I graduated from Aurora University, and I'm now currently at National Louis University for my doctoral degree. So I'm a woman of education. I believe in it. I stand firm in that as well. Most people know me as Chrissy the singer. They know me as a singer, but most people don't know Kristen without the singing part.
And that's the person I met.
Yes, that is who you met, right? In high school. Like you know Kristen, and the singer part of it. That's you got a mixture of both. Because we connected quickly, just from our faith standpoint, and just from a genuine your spirit, and just all of that. You connect with good spirit. So
yeah. So one thing I definitely appreciated was our study hall library.
Yes. Yes. Jesus, you remember that?
I think that's kind of like the main thing I remember. Because that's the time where we talked and swapped stories, and you know what I'm saying. And then I think I heard you singing, and knowing that we was both women of faith, I talked a lot, but you were still kind of low key. And in high school, a lot of people was low key, but I was I was a preacher. Everybody
you were the preacher. You knew. Yeah, we knew. If ain't nobody else gonna talk about it, Marnisha will.
That's it. So I was the good, some semi, but I was known just for basketball and what the band.
Yeah.
But you was just like everybody knew you, and so.
And I don't even see how. Listen, I got in the choir the last year. Okay, I'm gonna say this out loud one time. My mother knows. I'm gonna say this out loud one time. I only got in the choir senior year so I could sing the national anthem at graduation. That's it.
That's it.
I wasn't concerned about. I did not
Nothing.
want to be in choir, but it was such a great experience. But I definitely only got in there
And
the
I think that's
last
what I.
semester of senior year. I was like, I want to sing the national anthem, and that's
That's
just it. And
that's
I
it.
did.
And you did. And if I'm not mistaken, didn't you win some type of uh prom queen?
I
Or
was prom queen for class of '99. Let's go, and I did not cheat.
you did
People
not
voted
cheat.
because people had to vote, and I could not only use my homeroom. People actually voted for this. But when good things, like, you didn't have to be the whatever, the it girl or guy, to win those kind of things. When you just do right by people, like, good things come to those who actually wait and they actually work for it. And I think I worked for that. Like,
Yeah,
I did my campaign, and I was a politic. I was like, yo,
yeah.
this is what we need to do. I need you to vote for me.
Right,
So
right, right. And I came to prom and I'm like, I really don't want to be here. But anyway,
I loved prom. Like, Ariel better not skip out on prom, because she going whether she wants to or not.
whether she wants to or not. So y'all,
It
we got a
is what
little,
it is.
we got a little history. I can't say she know no bad stories because I don't think I got in trouble in high school. Uh,
I
so
don't think we
she,
got in trouble in high school. We didn't.
no,
We
we
didn't.
didn't
We
get in
weren't that.
trouble.
We weren't that. No,
No, we
not at
wasn't.
all.
So the good things was we just was what we was and did what we did. So I remember we was having some conversation. I don't even know what it was, but I think because I was going over to West, Proviso Webster singing their gospel choir.
Yes. Yes.
So I was cheating a little bit. And
Yes. You were at both schools. You were dual enrollment and all that good stuff.
right, right. So singing over there. And then I think we started talking, and then when I found out, y'all, she is part of. I gotta tell it, and I knew you weren't gonna be able to tell your accolades like that. She is a former beginning member of the Soul Children of Chicago. Okay,
Yeah.
she don't just sing, y'all. She sang. Walk with me and the Soul Children of Chicago.
Yes.
So
Those are my people.
yeah,
Those
yeah.
are
So
my
so
people.
she knows the range, the whatever she's skilled, and then on top of that, she been in plays,
Yeah.
Broadways, theater.
Yes.
Kristen has done it all.
Yeah, I
She
didn't
has done it
mention none of
all.
that, huh?
Huh? Yeah, you ain't mentioned none
I
of
said,
that.
yeah,
That's
I didn't
good. I
mention
mean,
none of that. It's
I'm glad
okay.
you did your doctoral because that's the bomb.com.
Amen. Thank
Education
you.
and where it's at. So proud of you
Absolutely.
on that. I'm like, this girl got another
Thank
head,
you.
another talent. Praise the Lord. Um,
Ooh, listen.
right. So listen, somebody said, good evening, Tisa. Oh, actually, you know what? I could put it up here. Bam. Somebody said
Okay.
good evening, Tisa, my boo. Anyway. And somebody
Tisa
else,
Macklin.
yeah. Yeah, yeah.
You know, is that a Macklin or my
No,
daughter's last name is Macklin?
you know what? I asked her, but I don't know. And I don't think, anyway, that's offline conversation because I did ask her that. I didn't even
Got
put
it.
that together right now.
Yeah.
Anyway, somebody said, can we get Sister Shara actually, can we get a sample of that singing? I already mentioned that to her, so I'm going to try to get it towards the end or in between somewhere so we can get she a Macklin. But we try to see if you making sure you
you
Chicago Macklin.
are you a Chicago Macklin?
Right, Illinois Macklin.
Right.
um, so let's get right into it. Thank you
Okay.
again. So you can be yourself. I don't care how you talk. Listen, we
Gotcha.
God, we life, Okay.
She said, I got people that Lord of mercy, God of grace. Okay, Sister Tisa, now calm down.
So, what is your definition of shame?
um, shame. Shame is shame, blame, guilt, all of that. Sometimes I believe is deeply rooted into our childhood.
Mm-hmm.
Because we've been given nuggets of, girl, you ought to be shamed. Like, and they didn't say it in a harmful way, but it's just like, I should be ashamed of who I am, of
Right.
what I like and what I do, no, I'm not gonna be ashamed of this.
Right.
Prime example, I'm a tall girl. We both are tall women,
Yeah.
5'9", and I'm a plus size girl, right?
Okay.
I was ashamed of that for
Mm.
nobody has ever known this. I was ashamed of that for a very long time because when I would go sing, my grandmother cover your legs up, and I was thinking she was telling me to cover up because, well, why am I covering this up? Then I quickly found out when I wore something short of the church, men are looking. You should cover it. Everybody looking. People are looking at because I got athletic legs. Like I
Right.
have very nice calves. My favorite feature of myself are my legs.
Okay. Okay.
Um, and so it was just like, and then I wear 5-inch heels. I was like, I'm 5 now, but you're gonna get all this 6'2" today. Okay.
That all the 6'2". All the 6'2".
So listen. So shame is just being it's just sometimes it can be a seed that's planted and you don't know why. Or sometimes it could be just what's inside of you, what's instilled in you. I'm a church kid. We walk in shame in church, whether we want to talk about it or not. It's a deep conversation. We
Come
won't
on.
get into it too much tonight,
Maybe.
but we might, but it's a deep conversation that instead of walking in love, like they say, we are taught to walk in shame. You ought to be
Okay.
shamed if you're doing this. You ought to be shamed if you're doing this. God is not pleased
Mm.
because I'm
Mm.
doing this. If he
Right.
ain't pleased with this, but you telling me somebody can die and they can confess Jesus as their Lord and Savior and they never walk with Jesus a day in their life and they can go with 24/7 in 24 hours and they can ready they on their deathbed and can no, you're not gonna I need to
Mm.
dig deeper, right?
Mm.
Um
Mm.
so I have been in a space where shame, blame, guilt. I try not to use those things that I've learned that are deeply rooted that we have been breadcrumb fed since kids
Mm-hmm.
to my daughter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's a space of unknown.
Mm.
It's a territory that you don't know sometimes and you don't know why you feel what you feel. You just know
Mm-hmm.
you feel like I shouldn't be here. And it's not
Right.
because you really shouldn't be here. It's because you've been planted those seeds from years and years. This is why I say I love Jesus, but I also like therapy.
Woo!
Take that how you want to. Okay.
Woo! You talking
I'm gonna deal.
heavy. You talking rich.
Listen. I'm gonna deal with because I've had people, and I ain't talking about going to your pastor. I'm talking about a degreed, has studied. Because again, I'm a woman of faith, but I'm also a woman of education. You've
Mm-hmm.
gone to school to study the brain. Why do
Mm-hmm.
we do what we do? Why do we
Mm-hmm.
say what we say, especially
Come
in
on.
our culture, right? Um, there was a time where I'll never forget. I was in Nashville, Tennessee. I lived in Nashville for 2 years. I would have stayed there, but neither here nor there. We can get there maybe. Um, but I didn't go to church often. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm done. I've been in church all my good life, and I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to find out who I was.
Yeah.
What do you really like? Are you doing
Right.
this for people? Are you doing this for
Right.
you? Are you do and then God really see sometimes when you leave the church you find God even more sometimes. Now don't take that as people of the Lord, don't take that as a space of not going to church because in fellowship the Bible talks about that being in good fellowship with people. But I had to find God even more in that because I was by myself. So before the pandemic, I was experiencing being alone, but not being lonely, if that makes
Mm.
sense.
Yes.
Um, so the
Yes.
the the shame can sometimes be a seed that's planted, and then sometimes it really is shame. I should be ashamed. I, I know better, right? And
Right.
so
Right.
that's where I am with that with shame, blame or guilt. But I had to learn the difference, and I learned that in therapy. I learned that in therapy when I went to therapy after divorce. I learned that in therapy after just dealing with Kristen, after dealing with the girl who wasn't the it girl and whatever that means. Just being the church girl, just always being people didn't know Kristen. They knew the singer, and oh, she could really sing. That's how I would be introduced all the time. She could really sing,
Right.
but do you know Kristen though? Do you know her
Right.
heart? You know what
Right.
her desires. So there are so many things that we deal with in life that we really just you need Jesus and therapy to deal with. So
You do.
that's
You
where that's
do.
at. Yeah.
Okay. So you said a couple of heavy things, just
Mm.
in general. Okay.
Yeah.
That I believe that definitely the shame, girl, you should be shamed. Boy, you
Mhm.
shame.
Mhm.
That's a great way to say it because that's seed planting.
Mhm. Oh yeah.
And so we never really take into account of the innocent stuff we think is being said,
Right.
but it ends up being a part of who we are.
Right.
And so
Right.
then the things of the simple things of, I should say this, something so simple, and people made it such a harlot thing for
Yeah.
women. Red lipstick.
Oh yeah. And oh God, you better not wear red lipstick. Don't
You
you wear
better
red
not.
lipstick? Why not? That's for women of the night.
Right.
Girl, boom.
Right.
I and I that seed was so deeply planted in me that when I was a teacher, by the way, I resigned from teaching, praise God, and I'm now an administrator. But
Listen, that's what I'm talking about.
come
Congrats.
on, God. um, but when I would see my ninth graders with red lipstick, there are some things that are inappropriate for certain ages, and so, but when I'm 18, girl, I'm about to wear all of these ruby woo, and all these reds, and because I didn't in high school, my mother forced me to wear lipstick to prom. I was like, I can't wear it because it was so deeply rooted in me, and I was like, I
Mm-hmm.
ain't even sexually active. Like, what are we doing?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I was a virgin throughout high school. Okay,
Listen,
so
listen. Praise the Lord. Let's shout about it.
uh,
Shout about it.
come
No,
on, can we talk about this?
come on.
Um, so like because I'm a deacon's daughter, I'm a
Mm-hmm.
deacon's wife daughter. Like there were so many things,
Mm-hmm.
and so red lipstick was one of those things in our time in 1999, where it's just like, yeah. And my mother was like, "Girl, you gonna put on this lipstick because you going on prom?" All right,
Mm-hmm.
it is what it is. So yeah, like those seed planting that we don't realize that are not flowers but they're weeds,
Mm.
right?
That's good. Look,
So
that's the teacher right there. That's the teacher. And
so
that's
yeah.
flowers and not weeds. And that was the thing because this is another thing, and it's kind of, I don't even know, but it's harder for women in the church than it
Mm-hmm.
is for men
Oh
because
God, yeah.
they're not teaching the men not to lust, but they want the women to not look beautiful, to for
Listen,
somebody not to look at them.
yeah, keep yourself to yourself. Are you
Right,
teaching your boys this?
exactly.
What are we doing?
Right. It ain't an equal playing field. It ain't an equal
No,
playing field. So let
no.
me get a little personal. How have
Oh Lord.
how have shame led you besides, thank you for sharing the first part, that part of your height, and
Mm-hmm.
being a thick girl, and then still, first of all, when you rocking some heels and they make you 6'2", it's just like, whoa, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
So so that's a sign of confidence. I will take that,
yeah.
after
Mm-hmm.
you have probably had to go through your thing with that, right?
Yeah.
So, in another aspect, share with us how shame have led you or stopped you, or put you in a position of not becoming your best self, or how you have overcome it.
Whoo, you just gonna go right on in, huh?
Right on in there,
Mm.
right on in there.
Well, it's no secret. I got a daughter. I had her in marriage.
Mhm.
But there were some things,
And can I
and
just say this, not to
uh-huh.
cut you off, but I got to say this because you mentioned you got a daughter and you in marriage. So for you to consider yourself not to be the it girl,
Mm-hmm.
you got married to the it boy in high school. Anyway, keep going.
Listen, yes,
Yeah,
yes. So, my God, today, and that's
go
a whole
ahead.
story. And I don't, and I'm not gonna, but that's my daughter's dad. Like,
Right, right.
I don't bash, but um, he was never a guy that I would consider
Hmm.
ever. And I was at a space of like, you know what, I'm gonna make this decision. This is what we're gonna do, and this is how it's gonna be. And we're at a space now. That's all I got. I don't know what to tell you after that. But um but I'm gonna respect him as my child's father. I
Right.
never ever
Right.
go to a space, whatever people know about him, think about him. We both Googleable, if that's a word.
Right. Well, it is
So
now. You made it.
right, right. Um, so there were some things that happened publicly in our marriage where I was like,
Okay.
this is not good. This is not good. I
Okay.
never spoke on it. I never went to Facebook about it. People had their speculations, but I was like, I'm not speaking on that because I believe that if you feed a monster, it will grow.
Mm. Come
If you
on.
starve a monster, it's gonna die.
Okay.
Anything
Right.
that you don't feed and give water to is gonna die of starvation.
I like that.
And I was like, God, you're gonna have to cover me in all of this because here I am in postpartum. I'm still in school. I'm about to finish school for the third time around. I need you to cover me and cover
Mm-hmm.
my daughter because I don't want her to go 20 years later and see nothing on nobody's internet, on Beyonce's internet and Al Gore's internet that says, this is what my parents was doing. Like,
Mm-hmm.
this is what was going on. And I have to explain something to her, right? So I try
Mm-hmm.
to be in good relationship. I try to be in good relationship with him so we can raise her to be the best woman, first of all, and to be the best woman of faith. Because I want her to walk in faith. I need her to live in faith. I need her to know what faith is. And so, oh, you gonna be let me be careful with this because this is recorded. So yeah.
No, you good.
I
I mean, I understand your words and whatever, but one thing I was
yeah.
just pointing out because sometimes we don't, and the reason why I said he was the it boy, but
Oh yeah.
because some things we find that we're not secure with, and we're thinking we're not it, and we end up
Yes.
being attached to it.
Too.
Something we're
Mm-hmm.
shamed about
Yep.
end up attracting things that other people, and it's like, well, why should I be ashamed? You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
So and so when you went through that, so you mentioned something even about so what's the shame in that? Where you going? I
Um,
don't want to change what
because
you were saying.
everybody knows that he has a space in his life, and thank God and amen that he's recovering from that space in his life. And he's not here to defend himself, so I won't, go into
Exactly,
details about
exactly.
him, but he has a space in his life that he's had some hardships.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas you got this educated woman with this dude, right? This
Mm-hmm.
guy, and everybody was like, wait, what? How did that happen? When did that happen? And
Mm-hmm.
I was like, it is what it is. Our daughter was very much so planned. But the shame was when the divorce came. And I was
Okay.
like, I done recovered and I want to be in love. I love love.
Mm-hmm.
I love everything about love. But we didn't work in that. And I think that there was some immaturity on both parts, no matter how
Mm-hmm.
educated, you know, that I was and he was or whatever. Um, if you are addicted to chaos, if you are addicted to love that is toxic, and you've been
Mm-hmm.
breadcrumbed this for your life, and you got some childhood traumas and you don't heal them, you're going to be in deep trouble in a romantic relationship because you're looking for that person to parent your emotions and you don't even
Mm-hmm.
realize it. And so I had to come to a space where I'm like, I can't parent you. I'm not responsible for your emotions, and you can't parent me, and you're not responsible for my emotions. So we going to do some counseling together because we need it. Right,
Mm-hmm.
we got a daughter to raise. But it just when you're in the space where both people are not on one accord, that's why when they talk about being evenly yoked with somebody, I
Mm-hmm.
believe that. I believe because we were unevenly yoked in so many spaces, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's a and listen, and he fine. Listen, can't nobody tell me he ain't fine to me.
Let me tell you, that man is a nice looking specimen of a man. Do
You
you
hear
hear
me?
me?
Do you hear me? Okay, can't tell me that he ain't fine. I don't care what nobody say. Yes. And can't nobody tell him that I ain't fine. It don't matter to me. But at the end and the beginning of the day, being fine ain't don't mean nothing unless you just mad at each other and you be like, you better be glad you fine because I can at least look at you. That's it. But it don't pay no bills. It ain't a healthy space. If you ain't in
Right,
a
right.
healthy space emotionally and mentally and spiritually and financially, you got to be confident in who you are and whose you are, right? And so
Mm,
because he was the it guy, I was like, okay, I'm in the city, y'all. I'm in the city of Chicago. Bear with me if you hear anything. I'm okay. But um, but
let it get off.
you might hear some booming going on. But just being in an emotionally healthy space to be like, you know what, we need to make a solid decision, right? We need to
Mm,
make a decision that's going to be best for us, and we need to make a decision that's going to be best for our daughters. Because so many people be like, oh, well, both parents need to be in the household. Not if it's toxic. Not
right,
if we can't get along. Not if
right.
we can't do things that we're supposed to do for us and our daughter. Because listen, I know what it's like to be married.
Mm,
Okay. In a good marriage. I've been married twice and divorced
mm,
twice. But there
mm,
was one marriage that shouldn't have happened immediately. There was one this is with my child's father. Like I think it could have been done later on, but
mhm.
um there was some premature. See, timing is everything with God.
Come on.
Ecclesi- Ecclesiastes talk about that. Ecclesiastes 3. There's a time and place for everything. A time
Yep.
to plant, a time to dig up, a time to live, a time to die, a time to walk. Everything under the face of the sun. Um, but is really when we want our flesh. Because listen, again, he fine. And I was like, look, if we gonna be together, we go together real bad. And he was like, well, let's get married. What? Okay. Okay. When you be getting okay, because you got the jock. Okay. No. Don't do it, ladies. Don't do it. Don't, ladies or gentlemen, don't do it.
Mhm.
Be in God's timing, because when God does a thing, he does it well. Right. And I'm not
Yep.
saying my daughter is beautiful. I'm not saying she is the
She is a
most
cutie.
beautiful
Oh,
thing that ever
she
happened
is
in my life.
beautiful.
And she has matured both of us to a space of
Mm,
like, all right, here we are. This is what we're gonna do, and this is how we're gonna handle this. We come to each other now more so trying to learn and navigate in this uncharted territory of co-parenting, if that's what it's
mhm.
called. And I'm trying to be transparent without being super transparent, because some people just wouldn't understand. But that
Right, right.
co-parenting piece of just being able to say, okay, this is what she needs. How can we come together? Because that's just what it is. Nobody wants to be with anybody that don't nobody else want. But that
Mm,
wasn't my testimony. Okay. Touch your
mm.
neighbor and say, don't nobody want to be with
Don't nobody
nobody.
want to
And
be.
nobody else want. Okay. So
That,
we have
yeah,
to be in that space. Yeah.
yeah. So the divorce it brought the shame. Was it because it was this
Yeah.
first
It was
divorce or the
public.
second? Okay, because it was public.
Second. Second. The second, because we're both locally known, but I've been singing overseas. Like
Mm-hmm.
people were like, hey, is your husband coming with you? And now I got to go into this field of the wound that I thought was closed and say, well, yeah, we ain't together no more. But here we
Mm-hmm.
are.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, dang, and you start looking at yourself when you've been married and divorced twice. You're like, is it me, Lord? And
Mm-hmm.
I am woman enough to say that, like in my first marriage, I know there were some deep things for me, and I was young. We were very young. We were fresh out of college. It was just a lot going on. We were trying to get into our careers. So again, timing. And I was so quick because again, I didn't have boyfriends throughout high school. So I didn't know what that was.
Mm-hmm.
I was glad to be in a relationship, to be honest. I was like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
happy to be here. I love this. I love. But now that I've been by myself,
So,
um,
so, so you wasn't having. So I'm about to tell on myself a little bit. You wasn't having boyfriends like that in high school, but you was up here giving me advice about my boyfriend. Lord,
listen, I knew how to function. I thought I knew
no,
how to
no, I
function in a
knew, no, you
relationship.
knew you gave some sound advice.
Listen,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? But yeah, y'all,
because
y'all,
I
y'all,
had
I did have a
grandmothers.
boyfriend back in high school. Okay.
You know what? Oh God. Love wins all the time. You hear me?
Right.
And I was in that space of like, all right, because I was being I was in the space of like, this is what it is. And being taught in church and being taught in soul children. Mr. Whitman was putting that on us like, look, y'all better not be doing this. Y'all better not, you represent the Lord and and I was like, man, representing Jesus is hard. Like, what are we doing right now? Like, I'm young. I want to be out here in these streets.
In these
Okay.
streets.
And I couldn't. And so, I do thank God for the seeds that were planted that did sometimes override those weeds that were just there. And you have to learn how to pluck out those weeds. But again, I believe in therapy. I believe in I'm sorry, y'all. I see it's getting a little dark. So I want to raise up this thing. I believe in therapy and I believe in Jesus. And I believe in a combination of those two. So it really depends on what you want and who you are and what you want to accomplish. But right now I'm living, I got a chance to live as a single woman and a woman of faith who this is gonna sound funny, it's gonna sound crazy, involuntarily celibate. But here we are. I'm in the city of Chicago, y'all. I don't live here. I'm at my auntie's house. But
Is this
if y'all hear
firecrackers
these,
because it's close?
baby,
Yeah.
they are letting us have it over
Right.
here, okay?
Right. I can say I don't
But
miss
yes,
that. I don't miss that.
I hate it. I've never lived in the city a day in my adult life, and I don't want it. But just being involuntary. Listen, to be involuntarily celibate is not fun.
Mm,
But when you
mm.
become voluntary and just be like, okay, Lord, help me, help you, help me,
Right.
because this ain't
But we
working for
need to
me.
get on the
Okay.
same page here.
We
Like,
need to be on the same page. Something needs to take place because I ain't with it.
I
And
ain't
people
with
don't
it.
want to talk about it. And people don't want to talk about that in church. People don't want
Mm.
to talk about the urges. People don't want to talk about things you want to do or things you have done. There are some things I will never talk about that I am going to take to the grave with me because it ain't nobody's business but be between me, Jesus, and that person, right?
That's it. That's
Um,
it. That's it.
because if he's a forgiving God, like people say he is, Lord, forgive me
It's
for this day.
right. It's in the street of forgetfulness.
Forgiveness, okay?
You
So,
know,
but
throwing
I
in.
got to a place where it's like, okay, if I have to, you have to understand. See, in church, people call it the spirit. In science, people call it energy. In the world, people call whatever they want to call it, vibes in the world. Like whatever it is, you have to be able to deal with those kind of things. And I was like, God, my spirit don't settle right with that. And you'll know when something is not settling with you. You'll feel that little feeling, that pit in your stomach that's falling and they ain't got no bottom, and it just
Mm-hmm.
keep falling. That's your
Right. Right.
spirit talking to you, like, all right, nah, this ain't gonna be
This ain't
right,
it.
right?
Right.
No, you can meet a person and know within 30 seconds I'm gonna either vibe with you or I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
Period. End of
Mm-hmm.
story.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where the shame, blame, and guilt can come in. But again, some of these things that we deal with in shame and blame and guilt come from childhood,
Mm-hmm.
come from our upbringing,
Mm-hmm.
come from the seeds that are planted. I wore long skirts to my ankles to sing until I was 25 years old because I was
Mm.
like, I should be ashamed of this, baby. But then I got it when I finally wore a skirt above my knee and not even, it was like right at my knee and with some heels because that's when I started wearing heels.
You saying the rafters
I
on.
got, man, listen, but I also got men in church, married men. Your
Mm.
legs sure do look good, sir. If you don't get, I know your whole wife, and I need you to find you
Not
some
your
business, okay?
not your whole
I
wife.
know your whole wife, okay? And you're not gonna do me. I'm not gonna be in a space where you gonna even remotely flirt with me like that. And so,
Right.
setting standards comes with that. Setting standards of what you
Mm.
will and won't take from somebody. So sometimes I became the, oh, she bougie. Yeah, if that's what you want to call it. I got standards,
Right.
right?
Right.
And
Right.
so
And
some
that's
people be like,
good.
well, yeah, go ahead.
Now I'm just saying how freedom think, oh, you free. They think you
Hmm.
wilding out. That's not
Yeah,
freedom. When you
right,
truly are free, you have a standard. And you
right,
stand strong in that standard because you know
yeah,
your liberation.
yeah.
And so
Listen,
freedom is being responsible. Freedom is
right,
being wise. Freedom
yeah,
is making good choices. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? And having boundaries, because definitely you in the church, we know the men be wanting, in some of the things it'd be like that's a total turn off. But
yeah.
then they be like, baby, that's okay. I pay for your bills. I do this, I do that. No, deacon, I'm okay.
Mm.
No,
No,
pastor, no. And it doesn't
mm-mm.
matter where it is. And that's some of the things where that's the thing I think we should be ashamed of. That
Right.
it shouldn't be in that,
Right,
you know.
right. Right,
Um,
because it is deeper. We got the big red A on us as women more than the men would. It's acceptable.
mhm.
Oh man, you got other needs. Listen, if you don't want 100, if you're gonna cheat on me, you're gonna cheat on me with me. You need me to change my hair, that's fine, but you better change something too. Because at the end and the beginning of the day, my headphones fell out. At the end and the
We
beginning
hear
of the
you.
day, the woman can actually change up more than a man. So it's just really, it goes back to, it's so deep. If we really got deep into, from when the black family started being separated, it started
Mm,
with slavery. But when they
mhm.
started being separated and not wanting to go back is where the
Oh,
problem came in.
ooh-wee.
Because slave men wanted to be with their families, but we're not gonna go. We not. I'm also part history, English history. So it was just so much that goes into that. But it's the problem came when the men didn't want to go back, when they had began to get options of, oh, I can be with her and her and her and her and her. Oh yeah, I can make babies all over. No, if you don't want me for
Right.
me, and if you want to cheat, you gonna cheat on me with me. I'll change
Exactly.
hair.
That's
I'm
correct.
okay with that
That's
because I changed my hair anyway. You want red this week? Got you. Okay. But I'm not putting up with no man who
uh-huh.
won't go to different spaces and places and lay your head, because I'm gonna be your 100
Right.
and you ain't gonna have 20% and have me as 80. No, no, thank you, sir.
Right. Not over here. Not over here
Not
in
here.
these parts.
Not here.
So let
Not
me
here.
ask, time then went past and I know you got other
Oh, it's
stuff to do
8:40.
over there.
Yeah. Oh, you're fine.
Oh, okay, well, good. No, I'm just saying, I can talk. I'm a good old preacher. Um, so let's talk about what Kristen has going on with bees in my coffee. Let's
Bees in
talk.
my coffee. Yeah, that's a real thing. So I wish I would have sent you the graphic. It was 2017. I'll never forget. I was sitting down, having breakfast, and there I was outside at Blueberry Hill, one of my favorite spots in Oak Brook,
It
Blueberry Hill
is
Cafe.
the bomb.
Yeah, listen, and I had some hazelnut coffee creamer and put it in my coffee, and there were bees. And bees get heavy at a certain time. And so there
Mm,
was a bee that kept coming, certain bee that just kept coming over to my cup. I was like, go on, little bee. I kept swatting them away, kept swatting. And the bee sat on the brim of my coffee cup. I was like, all right, bee, go ahead.
mm,
I shoot them away again. I ain't drink my coffee at that point, but it was scalding hot. I had just tasted it. It was perfect. And um, ended up pushing the bee in my hot coffee.
mm.
And so bees in my coffee is a space. I got revelation immediately. And I was like, man, people can push you away and give you those warning signs of, I don't want you. I don't want you around. I don't want you here. My God, today, black people. um,
She don't
I don't
got to
want you
duck y'all.
around. I
She
don't
all
want
right.
you. Listen, no, I'm good. You see, I didn't flinch. It was just like loud.
Right.
But I don't want you around. I don't want you here. I'm trying to save your life. Move around. Keep going. Don't come over here until they push you to your death. And that doesn't mean that you
Mm.
physically die, because I pushed the bee into my coffee and he started floating. I actually took a picture of it and was like, there's a bee in my coffee. And he died because he didn't take my hints of, I don't want you. Go on now. This ain't a flower.
Mm.
You think you looking at in the flower. You think you getting ready to sip on the flower. You actually sipping on hot coffee that's about to take your life, because this is not, you just smell the fragrance. So
Mm.
that's how we can be pushed. We can smell some cologne and be like, sir, come here, boy. Come here, ma'am. Come here. Like, you can smell it, and you walking into your death, right? And that does
Mm.
not mean your physical death all the time. That means your spiritual death, your financial death, your mental death, your emotional death. Everything about you has died inside, and you don't
Mm.
even know it, because this person has given you signs that I don't want you. They disrespect your time, right?
Mm.
Anybody, we make time for what we treasure, what we value, and what we want. I am a whole school administrator. I am in school for my doctoral degree, but let the right person come to me and be like, listen, I want to date you. Honey, I'm going to make time.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to
Yes.
make time.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So people who make excuses of I don't have time, they don't want you. Take that hint immediately. We cannot go around, especially as Black women, whether we're
Mm.
in whether we're in whatever relationship we're in. Don't go around collecting red flags. All I need is one now, Marnisha. I don't need to collect. Oh, that's just situational. No, if you give me one red flag, that's it for you. I ain't doing it.
Mm.
We not
Mm.
even ready to do nothing, right?
Mm.
Because as Black women, we take the brunt of things. We're always in the space of, oh, you too masculine for me. You operating in your this new thing of your masculine energy. Have you given me a choice to operate in my feminine energy? Because I want to live a
Right.
soft life. I want to live in my
Right.
soft place.
Right.
But if you ain't giving me a choice, I'm gonna work my ass off for me and my
Right.
daughter in this
Right.
space. I know how to
Right.
operate in feminine energy, whatever that means to you, whatever that means to me. But if I ain't given the opportunity, I'm not collecting red flags for it. I'm not gonna be like, oh,
Ooh-wee.
I'm your freak of this week. Oh, you only want me to text you on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? No, I'm not doing that. I'm not your girl. That ain't who I am, right?
Mm.
Um, Relationships are reciprocal. That's
Right.
friendship. That's romantic
Right.
relationship. That's family ships. Anything. Like anything that does not serve me and I can't serve it back, I don't want
Mm. That's good. That's good. We need to go and give a collection plate around now.
it.
So, so are you going to be doing like a series about bees in my coffee, or
Yeah,
it's
so
a
Bees in My Coffee definitely going to be a podcast.
okay,
And that's one of the things that I've been afraid to step out on. I got a whole
okay.
sign and everything. I've been afraid to step out on it because I don't think people ready. They're so used to Kristen the singer that they're not ready for the things that I really want to talk about. So I've been writing it out. Like I
Mm.
said, I'm an English major, so I've been writing things out, and real things that we need to talk about, especially coming from a perspective of spirituality and Christianity and what should and shouldn't be in the church. And because I've worked in the church as a worker and I've been a parishioner as a worker, I was like, I could have done without all of this. I need to know none of this. But because
Mm.
I know now and I've been exposed to it, I'm like, okay, I need to start calling things out. And y'all not gonna like me about it, but here we
Mhm.
are, right?
And I think that's the thing. People that have the light.
Mm-hmm.
Even I love my one of my favorite scriptures is Romans chapter 12.
Mm-hmm.
Romans. Okay. I beseech you therefore by the mercy of God, present your
Present
bodies.
body as a
Yeah, living
sacrifice.
sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto him, with your reasonable service. But that's the King James version. I love
Right.
the message version
Yeah. The message
because
version is hood.
yeah, but it talks about don't be transformed easily to your culture.
Yeah. Yep.
And so the church is the culture, and we have been that's the place we need to be transformed in. But we got so conformed It says conform and transform, but we got so conformed in our culture that
Hmm.
we're not being different. We
Right.
fitting right in with our culture, and nothing and nobody is changing.
Right.
And I'm finding out that a lot of us can deal with, or don't need to deal with, even with myself, being in church, born and raised,
Hmm.
I ain't never said a real cuss word until I think 2013.
That's so funny. Yeah.
Like, you know,
In real life.
people will be like, "Oh, dog, you don't cuss around Marnisha," and it
Yeah.
wasn't that I didn't say y'all couldn't cuss around me. It
But your
was just
spirit.
right. People just like, "Oh no, we ain't gonna cuss around her." And then I'm like, then the first time I really cussed, I was like, "Oh, this was so good," you know,
Listen,
you
don't
know,
give yourself an aneurysm, okay?
right, right. And so, even with finding out some of that stuff and learning, from what we was taught, when
Yeah.
it say curse, it wasn't. It was talking about cursing and speaking damnation on other people.
On the people. Yes. Yes.
It wasn't talking about the things that we asses in the Bible. We know that.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And
Right.
I love the fact that you pointed out three different ways to say spirit,
Yeah.
energy, vibe, and it's all from different sectors.
Yeah.
And we was not taught that in church.
At all.
And so for me, I feel like I don't some things that I can be done away with in the church.
Yeah.
I know I can't change everything, but
Hmm.
I did my vision and my desire is to be the medium, to
Yeah.
bring balance, to
Yeah.
bring whatever spiritual modality you in. It doesn't matter if you're a Christian, it don't matter if you're a Jew, it don't
Right.
matter if you're Muslim. I strongly believe and see us still coming together to
Yeah.
share the wisdom,
Yeah. Because
the
we're better
wisdom.
together.
We're
Whether we
better together.
listen.
And we talk about we want to talk about division. Yeah, the devil do come steal, kill, and destroy, and he comes
Hmm.
to divide. He want confusion. But the
Right.
first way he gotta confuse us though is we having confusion
Yeah. Yeah.
within
Stand
ourselves.
true into who you are. Stand in your truth. Right.
Stand in your truth.
Stand in it. I
So
mean, stand.
stand in it. So when she coming to the real, I don't know. Soon as she come to visit Atlanta, she'll be here.
I
Uh,
love Atlanta. Before I
yeah,
moved back, that was an option. Look, if my
listen.
daughter, I want my daughter to go to Ron Clark now. I
Okay,
want
all
her
right.
to, and they start at fourth grade, so I might
Oh,
be there.
really? Well,
Oh
come
yeah.
on, come on, come on, come on, come on. So I find out that uh so so when we are in places
Hmm.
that we divide within churches,
Hmm.
it doesn't matter if we all under the same denomination, we're bringing so much division,
Yeah.
and that's going against what we say the word of God is.
Yeah.
I'm a strong believer, and even I believe that we can, if we can understand.
Hmm.
Sometimes we don't have to agree.
Yeah. At all.
We don't have to agree. We just get the wisdom
Right.
of what you went through, what I went through, what they went through, and we can all come together and we can sing.
Yeah.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? I asked the other day on Facebook, what is it that people like about church?
Singing.
Every That's the main thing.
That's your
And
football. That's your winning football team of a high school. Your choir, your
right.
praise team, your musicians. Because if the music is trash, everything else is gonna be
And
thrown off.
they don't even care about the word.
Uh, Not at all. Come on, black people.
The word ain't even the biggest thing. But that's what I said. But when we come and talk together and really get healed
Yeah.
for real and share, the thing that I love that you said, therapy. The church taught away from therapy.
Let me tell you something. I was told, "What you going to therapy for? You ain't crazy." And I had to stand in. I said, if I don't go to therapy, I'm going to be crazy.
Right.
I'm gonna be walking around here spiritually bound, no earthly good, and mentally and emotionally messed up. And y'all gonna be thinking, I ain't gonna never be a good person for anybody. I ain't gonna be good for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I had people think, and I had to go through several because therapists are not people who you just you find one and that's it. No, you got to go through phases of this. Like there was one therapist, I was like, oh, you're terrible. I'm never coming back to you. Like, you would never see me again. And I had to go back. And we don't want to do the work. When you
That's
and
it.
people, when everybody say it, because that's the thing, the work. When you don't do the work, the leg work, I had to do the leg work to heal from my divorce. Because when I say loved, I mean that thing. Like, I loved him, right? And whatever I would have to do, like if he was rocking, I was rolling,
Mm-hmm.
and so to not have that, I was like, wait, we got a whole daughter. Wait, whoa, 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 God, whoa.
Right.
I
Right.
thought you said that marriage was this, but if it ain't
Right.
set up by him and it ain't divine and it ain't in his
Right.
timing, and if you feel that little inkling in your belly where you ignored and you collected those red flags, and now you got a graveyard full of red flags, my
Mm-hmm.
God, today.
Today.
Now you
Oh,
don't know why
today.
you bleeding. You bleeding in the inside and don't even see it, and you losing life from you because you have collected red flags that's constantly being stuck into the graveyard of your spirit, of your mind, of your emotions, of everything. Like, you can't even pray. It's just like, wait a minute, I don't know what's going on. And
Mm-hmm.
so we need to be very cognizant when we are talking about I love the Lord. I stopped singing for a minute. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not getting ready to release this over the people of God. Like, I'm not gonna release what I got going on. I need to get me together first before
Mm-hmm.
I start singing over anybody. Because one thing I don't believe in, just push it, just fake it till you make it. I'm not doing it, because that ain't what God's words say. He said, I am the head and not the tail. I am above and not beneath. I'm the lender and not the borrower. And I was none of those things at that point. And I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't getting ready to fake it till I made it with nothing. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
God, if I'm walking this, I'm walking this in the true spirit and the true facet of you, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that's where I was with that. I just wasn't
Mm-hmm.
going to be at a space of I'm gonna do this just because.
Mm-hmm. And I believe we all get caught up in it. I'm doing it just because my
Yeah.
name, my image, what people gonna
Yep.
say, what people gonna do. So the
Yep.
thing is, even learning, I gotta look back, and I don't know, like I've been preaching, teaching for so doggone long.
Hmm.
Growing up, that's what I was want. But when I had to start dealing with who Marnisha was for real, I was
Yeah.
like, no, no, Lord, no, no, I can't preach.
Yeah.
I can't teach.
Yeah.
Don't give me a prophetic word. Don't give me another dream. Don't do
Yeah.
anything. And he didn't stop. It kind of like got 10 times worse. I say,
Yeah.
wait a minute. And it ain't worse, but I'm like, that don't make no sense.
Intense. It became more intense.
It became more intense. And I was like, so what I'm going to do? And when God started correcting me and allowing me to see him differently, and to
Hmm.
still know that he's still God
Yep.
and I can worship him in spirit
Yep.
and in truth.
Truth. Yeah.
And I'm not
In your
worshiping
truth.
him in
In
my
your truth.
truth.
And walk in that. And
Right.
be okay
And
with it, right?
man, I'm telling you, for years, I don't think I've ever shared this or said it out loud. For years, it was so hard for me to post a picture of me and my partner because I
Wow.
was so worried about what everybody was going to have to say.
The word of the Lord is get delivered from people, because people ain't going
Yeah,
to
come
put
on.
you in a heaven or hell. Get delivered. I had to get delivered from people.
Yeah, yeah. So it was something where this current, I put it out there, I share, I talk, and so many people. I think you was responded to it, Nisha. I'm so happy you look happy, you this, you that.
Yep.
And I was just like, oh my God. That was liberating for me to
Yes.
see people that I've grown up with, and I was so worried about what people was gonna think that, oh man, we
Be-
support you.
because your people will support you. When
Mm-hmm.
they see you are genuinely happy, your people will support you. Your naysayers, watch those who are super quiet when things are happening, because they
Mm-hmm.
waiting on something to be like, see, I knew that was going to
Mm-hmm.
happen anyway. I knew that
Exactly.
was going to be in the space. Mm-mm. No.
Right. Right.
When God does a thing, he does it well.
And he does it.
Period in the
I'm
story.
telling
Period in the
you.
story.
For point blank and period. So it's around that time. And
Yes.
I have to ask for an A selection.
And I'm outside in the elements and baby's crying. That ain't my child though. She
Listen,
with her
if they're
nana.
gonna pop firecracker, you can sing a rendition.
Right,
Or
right.
a half a piece. A half a piece. It don't matter.
Oh my Lord! Today I
Um
wish I would have given you a video to share your screen.
no, no, no,
But
no. No. No, for real. But I would like if you don't mind. I
Uh-huh.
love Kristen's voice, y'all. Y'all don't understand. Like she's anointed. She got the oil for real. I posted a video before, but now I understand if y'all want to sing tonight, I can.
Oh no, we're fine. It's just y'all fighting with these fireworks. I
Oh,
can
I
do a
don't care.
small rendition of something. Um, just how sweet it is. Ooh, dogs going crazy, Jesus. Just how sweet it is because we have to be in this place, Marnisha, where we trust in the Lord. Like, I listen to all kind of music because I'm a musician first, singer
Right,
first.
right,
But so I listen to all genres of music because at one time I was bound to listen. I only listen to gospel music.
right,
No, no,
right,
no, I'm not. No, stop it,
right.
Webster. Stop it. I had to tell myself stop it. Like we're not doing that, right? But it
You and me
is really
both.
sweet. Listen, um, so one song that always sticks with me, my grandmother used to say, "It's just sweet to trust in Jesus. It's sweet to trust in the Lord." So I can
Uh-huh.
do a little bit of that because I'm outside, and I
Okay.
so just a little bit. I ain't singing. I'm just gonna give y'all a little bit that let you know I can sing a little bit,
You do a little something,
just a little bit.
a little something.
uh, okay, so I had to get my
Get your
key.
key.
Yeah. You knew what I was doing. Come on.
Yeah.
Tis so sweet to trust in Jesus, just to take him at his word, just to lean upon his promise, and to know thus saith the Lord. Jesus, Jesus,
Hmm.
how I trust you, how I prove you at your word. Jesus, Jesus, precious Jesus, oh, what faith to trust you more.
Dun, dun.
Right.
Oh my God, you don't know how much it has been a delight. I'm so glad I've obeyed the spirit and the
Yes.
leading to yeah, do this. And so yeah, I want to share something before I go out about shameless conversation. And it was given to me just in a time of me being fearful to share my life. And I always desired it. But one thing, we talk about Judas in the Bible and how nobody liked Judas. They use him, but Judas is my man.
Listen, listen.
Judas is my man. You know, he walked with Jesus and everything else. And so I was talking about Judas the other day, week or whatever, with a good friend of mine. And so when the more we was talking about it, it was just I started finding out why he resonated so much with me. The part that I love that even though, okay, he portrayed Jesus, he got silver, they gave him money for it. He tried to give it back. He felt bad and guilty and shameful and
Yeah.
tried to give it back, and they would not. Okay, so this play was already in motion. All right, so anybody that knows the story of Judas, he ended up killing himself. But the redeeming part of this to me that I found so Judas killed himself because of shame.
Yeah.
He was guilty because he knew the love that he really had for Jesus. He portrayed Jesus, they said, with the kiss, but that was because he knew that he really did love Jesus. But he could not undo
Right.
what he
What he had
already
done.
placed in motion,
Yeah.
and it had to come or whatever. And so the thing is this: when Jesus came back and was resurrected, he asked for him.
Yeah. He
When he asked for him, it said to other people, I still love him.
Yeah.
I still forgave him. And
Yeah.
now I know not everybody know Jesus knew that man was gone. Judas was off to himself. You know what I'm saying? Jesus knew that
Yeah.
because he knew all things, but he wanted the people around him to know that I didn't care about what he did
Right.
and what happened. I still am looking for my tribe.
Right.
I'm still looking for my people. And so that was even more confirming with me about shameless conversation, because we walk in so much shame and guilt that people do off themselves because
Right.
of guilt and because
Right.
of the shame. They hide in isolation. And even when they try to make things right, they can't make it right. And
Right.
they live in so much bondage. And so I just wanted to share that. And I'm so grateful, so grateful, so grateful, so grateful. We was been rocking to we've been really friends from 95. We known each other
For real. For real.
freshman year, for
Freshman
real,
year.
for real.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
and it's I thank you. I'm glad that you was in here. I'm glad for your story. I'm
Thank you.
so happy for your story. And I know you got, got some books to write. Good if you
Oh,
could tell it
let me
all.
promote my book. It's
Okay.
called Recover. It
Uh-huh.
is available on Amazon. Recover by Kristen
Oh, well,
Webster.
I need to purchase that.
Yes, it's called Recover. I have it pinned on my Facebook page as well, but it's called Recover. I did write a book because legit I had to recover. So what it is that you get a piece of me. You get a piece of me in diary form. It's real life diary entries, but I give an opportunity for you to write part of your life and your diary, so you get to write and interact. That's the teacher in me. But in one of those pages, I think on page 7 or 8, I write a page to my heart. And some of us need to
Mm,
write to our heart and say, dear heart, I'm sorry for what I've done to you. I've stumped on you, I've hurt you, I've pinned you down, I've shot you. Like, there are so many things we've done to our heart. And so now I'm letting God do what he does, and I'm letting him
mm,
be God in my
yes.
life, because whatever next relationship I'm in romantically, I'm talking about romance because I'm working on my friendships and my circle,
Yeah.
now. But romantic relationship, I want it to be a God thing and not just a flesh thing. And so, like, even when I meet people, we have to deal with our heart. The pandemic taught me that when you deal with yourself and you sit with yourself and you can't move and the world is shut down, the pandemic did a lot of damage, but it also did some good for
It
some of
did.
us. And then that's why it made us go to therapy,
It
because
did.
we were in a space of like, what in the world? We're so used to hustle, bustle, move. Listen, it set us down to deal with ourselves. And so I encourage anybody, start dealing with yourself. If you didn't get a chance to deal with yourself throughout the pandemic, deal with you. Deal with you. And I encourage you to find a therapy for Black girls and therapy for Black men. That's a real www.therapy for Black girls, and then www therapy for Black men. It gives you a list of therapists, where they're located, in order for you to find a therapist right for you. And they take insurance. Y'all, they take insurance. They take insurance.
Mm.
Medicaid, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Aetna, all of that good stuff. So my copay be like $25. I just want to put that out there for the Black people, because we get caught up in, oh, how much it costs. Listen, my copay is $25. My sessions are like $200. I only have to pay $25 for those sessions.
Come on.
And those are unlimited sessions, because so many jobs have gotten to a space where they give my baby's calling me, gotten to a space where they are recognizing that people are dealing with their mental health. So yeah, I'm about to come in. They're dealing with their mental health. So there you go.
Thank you for that nugget, for educating us even the more. Listen, y'all, like, tag, and share. I'm your GPS. Kristen, don't hang up yet.
Oh no, I'm
Um,
not hanging up.
okay. Um, your GPS, Marnisha T. That's me, God's personal
Yeah.
servant, and we got Kristen Webster here.
Yay.
None other than the light herself. Y'all check her up, look her up. She got some stuff out there. We gonna purchase her book and support. I'm about to
Yes. Come
order it
on, book
this week.
purchase.
So we gonna support it because I like journaling. You know what I'm saying? It
Yes,
sounds like so much of a journal, and we need. I'm
it
all
is.
about healing. I'm all about
Yeah.
healing, y'all. So thank y'all. Have an amazing night. I love y'all for joining. All right, we out.
All right. Bye, y'all.